Over the past year, sanctions have been imposed on the Iranian central bank by the US, the UK, Canada, and the European Union in order to inhibit Iranian nuclear capabilities. Other sanctions against Iran have also been made for similar purposes. These sanctions have been made because of the IAEA report and obscurity of Iranian nuclear capability. Cuba believes that the latest sanctions toward Iran are invalid because of the obscurity of the IAEA report. They should be repealed. Iran should be able to conduct its nuclear projects so long as they consent to IAEA screenings and unconditional talks. The problem began with the 2006 IAEA report. The report has led countries to believe that Iran has started to make nuclear weapons, even though Iran claims their nuclear facilities are for solely peaceful purposes. The report does not have verifiable information. Through this belief, countries have begun to impose sanctions on Iran that attempt to cripple its economy until they amend their nuclear program. This is an issue of international concern. If countries continue to impose stronger and stronger sanctions, Iran has a possibility to collapse from financial deficit. Also, this suspicion will lead to an increased tension, which could possibly trigger an invasion of Iran. This situation has a possibility to turn into what happened in Iraq, where the United States of America invaded Iraq based solely off of suspicion of weapons of mass destruction, which turned out not to exist. The previous actions to prevent Iranian nuclear capability are sanctions, attempted negotiations, and talks with Iran, and trade benefit incentives. These latest sanctions have been a failure because they closed negotiations with Iran in the long term. The talks have failed due to either IAEA reports or Iran's decline to talk. The trade benefit incentives by the EU were rejected because Iran has a higher interest in its nuclear program. Because of the current sanctions imposed by the US, Canada, the UK, and the EU, Iran's economy is crippled. However, the main problem is with the political effects of the sanctions. These recent sanctions do not encourage Iran to hold talks, and in fact will cause Iran to be less cooperative. The basis of the IAEA report is skeptical at best, and until further investigation is properly made, Cuba believes Iran should be permitted to conduct its nuclear program, and the sanctions should be lifted, and trade should resume. There is too large of a doubt to be able to properly and ethically cut off trade with Iran. In addition, Iran needs to allow the IAEA to inspect its facilities as soon as possible, so the doubt can be dealt with. After the IAEA conducts testing, Iran should hold unconditional talks so the tension can be alleviated and relations between Iran and other countries may become peaceful again. The United Nations, in resolving this particular issue, must work to uphold their principle and interests of maintaining international peace, recognizing the equal rights of every nation, and achieving international cooperation as outlined in the Charter.